Hey, what's up, YouTubers out there? I don't make a whole lot of videos. I like to do this sparingly, but I'm making this video because, first of all, I want to say this that I've been watching a lot of channels and listening to a lot of things, and I respond to a lot of things from time to time that sometimes I either agree with or don't disagree with. Um, this thing that Black Americans have always blaming white Americans has got to stop. Okay? And I guess you're wondering why I'm saying this and why am I making this video. Well, I'm going to tell you why. Because first of all, I'm going to say this. That Black Americans have to stop blaming white America for a lot of their issues. And it's not going to come through segregation, and it's not going to come through integration. This is going to have to happen within the family nucleus. If Black Americans don't change their mentality of, well, if you're smart, you're trying to be white. Or if you read a lot, you're a nerd. This is the mentality that's going to put us and keep us last. Black Americans need to understand one thing. You can't blame the white man for everything that you do, or for every downfall that you have. Now, I'm not totally saying that, the white government isn't responsible for some things. They're responsible for some things. But I'm not going to get into that. You know this. I know this. But what I am going to say this. I'm going to say this. Black Americans need to take responsibility for their own future. That is, getting out of the mentality that education is the only source of income to be successful, or that playing a sport or being a famous musician or artist is the only avenue to success, or being some kind of a world-renowned boxer, or football player or basketball player. These are the only avenues that we have. It's okay, it's okay if some trying to pursue that if they're really talented in it and they really do believe that they have a shot at it. But the majority, the truth of the matter is only a small percentage make it in those kinds of events. And the thing is, not everybody's going to be a Hollywood star. Yeah, we need them. We need black actors and actresses in Hollywood to represent us. We got some there now, more so than we did 50 years ago. But the point I'm saying is, these aren't the only avenues. The other avenues that we have are things like trades. Okay? So if you're good at something, like if you like mechanics, or if you like carpentry, or if you like masonry, or cooking, or any of these things can be successful if you put your mind and you study and you perfect a trade to it. This is the mentality that we're not pushing in our family nucleus anymore. Owning your own business, things like that. Using your trade as a business to propel a business. Things like that. It's disturbing. The reason I'm making this short video is because I want to put this out. I'm not going to say much. It's already almost 5 minutes into the video. I'm going to say this. I'm going to show you some statistics. These are facts. I didn't make these up. And it's letting us know that we're behind. Black Americans, we're on the bottom of the list. We're the only minority that's been among whites since the beginning, other than the Indians. And the Indians got put on reservations. But blacks, you know, we finally, our ancestors, they got their freedom and everything else, eventually had their own businesses and things like that. If you read their history, you will find that is the truth. But somewhere we wanted to be equal. We wanted equality. And that's true. We need equality. We needed equality. We needed equality. We need, if you're going to give them good books, like whites in their schools, the black schools should have good books too. That's playing on the same field, playing on the same ground, the same playing field. But when there is an underlining, if somebody tries to undermine you, then they're going to give you outdated books. They're going to give you outdated equipment, stuff like that. And if that's your game, or if that's their game, then yeah, we need to holler equality, justice. But the point I'm making is this. The point I'm making is it starts in the home. We got too many of these young girls out here today that starting families at too young of an age, and they don't have the knowledge up here to even educate their children now. They didn't get their education. They slipped up or whatever, for whatever reasons, got pregnant. The relationship didn't work out. Then they're left alone with no husband or no mate. And then they're to rear children up for themselves. And then these children go to school and they have to compete against other children who have families, who have a mother and father in the home, who have mother and father who have stable jobs, who have mother and fathers who have degrees and have education and have smarts and knowledge, who have connections. And you wonder why that child is struggling in school when he comes home to a single parent home. Nothing wrong with single parent home. If it don't work out, it don't work out. But the point I'm making is, don't be so damn selfish and bring a child into the world. Come on, bring a child into the world, and you know damn well you couldn't take care of that damn child. That's being selfish. That's being damn selfish when you know you don't even have all the knowledge, or enough knowledge, I should say, not all the knowledge, but enough knowledge and skills to educate your child or help your child through school, to push your child to have a better future than what you had, or have, I should say. These are the things that we're not thinking about, And the men thinking with the lower heads instead of with their upper heads. Thinking about, I don't, college ain't for me. Maybe I need to find a trade, get good at something. I look at these, and I admire these Amish people. They got a legacy. They got a long legacy. You can mock them and say all the hell you want to say about them, but they got a legacy. They done, from generation to generation to generation. Master builders. They can build homes blink of an eye. Children know how to plant crops and farm. That's solid skills. May not seem much to you guys, because if you're into, I want to be a rapper, what is that going to do? A rapper ain't going to do nothing but be selfish and do for you. That's all it's going to do. It's going to help you. It ain't going to help nobody else. Being a farmer, you can help thousands of people. I'm not saying that that's the only thing. I'm just using it as an example because it's a skill, it's a trade. Being able to build a home. Things like that we need to get back into. Blacks need to get back into some things because not everybody's fit to go to college. Not everybody's going to be a lawyer or a doctor. You know, if you do have the smarts, if you do have the brains, if you do have the the IQ for that, then by all means go for it. But just realize something, that is not the only avenue to success. Also, I want to show you these statistics on something because I'm going to end this video. It's already 10 minutes long. I want to show you something. Give me a second here. I'll blow this up here. I think I can show this to you. I'll blow this up one more time. A little bit more, one more time. So you don't have no excuse of what you're looking at. I want you to take a good look at this. If you can see it. You see that? I don't know if you can see that or not, but if you can see that, it's pretty bad. I guess you wonder, what are those numbers? Well, those numbers were taken by MSNBC, and it showed the dramatic upticks in overall student achievement in recent years. And the gap between white and minority high school students remains wide and steady. I mean, let me just read off those statistics. I'm going to read the numbers, and then that's it. I want you to think about that for yourself. Emphasis. Black families need to emphasize education, but not just education. You got to learn the basics. I mean, you got to learn reading and math. That's the basics. And then from there, you can branch off into, well, you know, still you're going to need to learn how to read, because you got to read anything, instructions, where you're going. Math is something you got to learn how to count your money, know what kind of money you have, how much money you got, so nobody don't cheat you. You know, that's why a lot of these athletes themselves don't know. That's why they get cheated, because they got all this money, but then they put their trust in these lawyers and people that go to school so that they can swindle the entertainers. You know, the dumb entertainers that fall into it, to make all this money, they do all the hard work, but yet at the end of their career, they end up broke or die broke. You know, they got a taste of the good life, and then, boom, then they don't know how to hold on to it. Look, I'm gonna read off these statistics. The whites had 297 in math. The only one who was closest to them were the Asians. They had 296. 296, the assessment scores. 297 for whites. 296 Asians came in a close second. And the other ones after that were pretty much either of mixed heritage, or and then I think they say it was of mixed heritage, 2 or more races, and then they said, and then those I'm just gonna leave it there. It was the whites, it was the Asians, and then it was 2 or more races, and everybody else fall below that. Now, one more thing: the blacks fell dead last, even under the Indians. The Indians, who were on reservations, outscoring blacks in America. 277 to 268. Maybe not by much, but it's enough. 277. I'm reading off the reading. That's reading. That's reading. Now math, it was by much more. 142 the Indians had, and the blacks had 132. Yeah, blacks were dead last. Yeah. Blacks were dead last. Hispanics came in before the blacks. The Asians, of course, came in before the blacks. And the Indians came in before the blacks. And then the mixed. Like if you had maybe white and black, or Asian and black, or white and Hispanic, or whatever the case, whatever they may be, they all came in before black Americans. Yeah. Yeah. So, you guys criticize David, you criticize David Carroll, and you criticize, I don't agree with everything he says, but he's on point. Man's got some knowledge up there. And then you criticize some other people on here that I'm not gonna say anything else about, but get your facts right, first of all. Okay? And just not your opinion. Get your facts. Do your research. This is put out by MSNBC. Okay? This is national statistics now. The data is reported for the world to see. Putting blacks on blast. Yeah. But the blacks that need to see it won't see this. That's right. The blacks that need to see this will not see this. They're too busy out in the they're too busy out in the streets doing their thing. They don't care. They don't care about the furthering black Americans, the generation after them. Because if they did, they'd be trying to do something about it.